Hello, everyone. I made a post the other day, and then I asked, I think Jeff, to rate his or seed the league preseason. And I was at work, and I wanted to do it, but I didn't really have time. So I figured I'd make a video, first video of the year, uh, give give my take on it, just for shits and giggles as well. Um, but give you guys something to look forward to. Maybe it'll light a fire under some of you guys and say, well, you got it all wrong, and I'm going to be number one, which, you know, I'd probably have to drop out of the league if that were to happen, if you're saying that to yourself. So let's not go too far. Don't set the bar higher than you can reach. So anyways, without further ado, my number 10 would have to be Brandy. Brandy's team would come in number 10 on my preseason rankings, simply because she's never played fantasy before. But we all know, with like Valerie, your first season could be your best. So depending on who she drafts and how deep she gets into it, you never know. She could be a sleeper. But as for now, she's gonna bring the 10th seed in for me. Number 9 is gonna be Jessica's Unnecessary Roughness. Only, Jessica's always around about the middle of the pack. Last year she kind of had a rough year. I don't know if she wasn't paying attention as much as she did the year prior, but like I said the other day, if you want to win, if you want to get in the money, you have to, give. You're going to get just as much as what you give to the league, and I've got her at 9 right now, but she could very well be number 1, number 2, number 3, in playoffs, just depending on when the league kicks off, who she drafts, and how much time she's willing to spend on it. But as of right now, she's my number 9. My number 8 is gonna be Brian's Balls Deep team. This was just like a spot for me where it was like, okay, well, I don't have anybody in the number 8 position. Brian. The only reason is because I don't know the extent to his NFL knowledge. I don't know how many years he's played in fantasy. I don't know anything. So he's just kind of a wild card. And Jessica and Brandy are like, well, how, if you don't know anything about this guy, are you going to put him ahead of me? Well, the only reason I would have Jessica in front of him, actually, I probably should, but from what I hear, he's going to be playing pretty hard, and so with Jessica's year last year, I think if she does that again this year and doesn't pay attention as much or give as much as she did the year before last, then that's what warranted that 9th rank and gave Balls Deep number 8 for me. So there again, it's all for shits and giggles, and we'll see how it hashes out. Number 7 is Valerie. Valerie will come in at number 7 with her DeForce team, because living with me, she's pretty much forced to watch football. She's pretty much forced to pay attention to fantasy and overhear, stats and things that are going on, watching ESPN and whatnot. So she usually gives a pretty good amount of her time as well. But coming in at number 6, and with Bob gone, I think maybe her new rival from here on out will be my number 6 pick in Joe's in my rear view team. I put Joe there because just like Jessica last year, he kind of fell off paying attention, really getting into it. He lost kind of his magic touch there, and so hopefully the vice commish can lead by example, get in and really show some of these new guys how we roll in this league, not just lay down and get rolled over. But he plays like he did last year, and shit's gonna happen. Number 5, the top 5 list. My number 5, I give it up to Neil's Hollow Points. Hollow Points. Okay, that works. Hollow Points team coming in at number 5. Give it up to him because he says he's been playing for 4 or 5 years. He said he played in 2 leagues last year. I'm just going to assume that he's playing in a couple this year as well. Probably prior to that, he's had a couple. He's got quite a bit of fantasy experience. He knows coming in, what it takes to win a league. I don't know if he's ever won a league, but he knows, the chips are stacked against him coming into a new league. Everybody's going to be gunning for him, as well as Balls Deep and as well as Brandy's team. We Tall did. Dumbest damn name. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give Neil number 5, right in the middle of the pack. So you never know. Beginner's luck could take it, but I'm gonna put him right there in the right in the middle of the pack, and see where it shakes out. Number 4, I'm gonna give it to the defending champ, Grits and Gravy, Mike Hunsinger's team. Now, if he's the defending champ, why do we have him at number 4? I have him at number 4 simply because, for those who weren't here last season, just to give you a little rundown, he won what was there, 14 regular season games, and I think all of his games he won by the slimmest margin. He only had a couple of games that he actually scored over 100 points. It seemed like everybody that played him had their worst week of the whole season, where they're scoring 50, 60, 70, 80 points, and he would come in just a couple points ahead of that. So maybe it's a curse, maybe it's the Grits and Gravy curse that he put on us last year, but it seemed to work, and he made it to number 1 and beat me in the championship, and he did exactly like I just said to me in the championship game. I think I had my worst game all season, or one of them. I had a couple of them, but so I'm gonna give him number 4 because he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that this year, and he's gonna have to really pick up on doing some research, as he hasn't done in the last couple years, to be any kind of competition. I think this year is going to be, and I hope it is. I hope it's a lot more competitive, bringing in some of the new guys and girl. I hope we all get a little bit of fire set on us, and it's a little harder than what we've had before. But we've been pretty competitive. And so, yeah, Grits and Gravy, he's going to fall to number 4 in my list. I'm going to give number 3 to We Tall did, Ryan McCann's team. I'm going to give this to him because I think, just knowing Ryan, he's very competitive. And that was one thing I knew, and I even voiced that last year, maybe the year before, making this league more competitive. So I was happy to get Ryan to come on board, and he picked up a championship uh, in fantasy last season in one of his leagues, and it happened to be the league that Hallow Points Neil commissions. Um, so I gave him the upper hand on Neil simply because of that. Um, and Ryan, he knows his stuff about sports, so yeah, I feel pretty strongly that he's gonna be a really good contender this year. So I'm gonna give him the 3 seed. And for my top two, um, I'm gonna give myself the number 2 position. Um, I like to stay competitive, and I spend a lot of time on staying competitive and making sure that when it's your week to play me, that if you don't roster somebody, or you didn't make the right waiver move, or something happens, you could lose, and I try my best to make sure that I win. Uh, so I'm going to give myself the number 2 seed. I'm usually every year up in the top 5. I think maybe 2 years ago I was 5 or 6, but so yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty convinced that I'm right up in there, number 1, number 2. I didn't want to give myself number 1. I wanted to have some room to grow. Uh, so my number 1, without further ado, is In the Zone, Jeff's team. I gave this to Jeff because um, just playing with Jeff in the last couple seasons. Um, I don't know what his regimen is while he's at home. I don't know, if he goes to sleep with a fantasy magazine or whatever, but it seems like every season, he's right up in there. You gotta watch this guy. You gotta always be on your toes when you come into play the In the Zone team. Um, he's not a guy to he's never been a team to say, this is going to be a win this week. It's always a tough matchup when you play on Jeff, and he definitely has my respect as a fantasy football team manager. So I'm going to give him the number 1. He makes great trades throughout the season. He's always trying to trade somebody. He's sneaky. He's in and out of the waiver wire. There's been many times where I'm on the waiver wire thinking about picking up a guy, and the next thing I know, I wait on him, I sit on him for a day, and then I go to look for the guy and decide to pull the trigger, and boom, the guy's not there. So then I'm looking, where the hell did this guy go? Jeff's picked him up. And this guy always ended up working out for Jeff. So, me and Jeff, I would say we're pretty much in the same tier there. I hope, like I said, we've brought in some new guys in Ryan, Neil, and Brandy. Hopefully, like Val did, Brandy catches the fantasy bug. Hopefully, this is the year that Jessica steps back into the league and really makes a strong push towards the top. Brian, even as quiet as he is, maybe he's the silent killer. But we'll just have to wait and see. These could be crazy preseason seedings or whatever you want to call them, rankings, but they're mine. They're my opinion. If you don't like them, make a list yourself, make a video. It doesn't matter. Post it on Facebook. Let us hear what you think. Just trying to keep everybody interested and anticipating the draft. So there's my list, and hope you guys enjoy it. See you guys later.